Set up by Leonard Copeland and Mark Bradkey, but they had to withstand an amazing comeback by the Wildcats in the dying minutes. The two best teams in the league, both brimful of talent, says no tomorrow, the victor winning the NBL Championship. The Wildcats made a promising start.
Yes, sir! What a start for the Wildcats!
As has been the case in the first two games, no love lost between the two combatants. It was a low-scoring first quarter, but then the Tigers put their stamp on proceedings, going on a 9-0 run, Copeland doing it in style.
Here comes a dunk from Copeland. What's this? Whoa! Leonard Copeland.
At the first break, it was Melbourne by 5. That margin was quickly erased, the Cats hitting the spot. But again, the Tigers kicked clear. 8 points to split. Andrew Gay started to find the gaps.
Gay's on the break there, goes off the glass. That's a magnificent left-handed dribble.
Andrew Vlahov found just how tough grand finals can be.
Back to Vlahov.
That'll be a foul on Simmons as well.
And Vlahov is hurt.
Yeah, there's contact, heavy contact as they've landed, I suspect.
While Ricky Grace found his range.
Grace, another three. And he is doing some serious damage now for the Wildcats.
The big men then stepped up. James Crawford and Mark Bradkey both dominating the boards and the scoring. A bitter blow for the Cats just on half-time. Playmaker Ricky Grace nabbed for his 4th foul.
Yeah,
here's a charging foul. What a big call!
So often, the third quarter has seen the Wildcats explode away from opposition teams. At one stage, it looked as if they'd run the Tigers off their feet, leading by 5. But all of a sudden, the game changed complexion. One man virtually doing all the damage. Not Andrew Gaze, but Leonard Copeland. He scored 15 points in the term to take his match tally to 28. Bradkey too continued to dominate. The Tigers were pumped up. The Wildcats were out of sorts. Melbourne outscoring Perth 19-4 late in the quarter. With just 12 minutes of the 1993 season remaining, it was the Tigers heading to the trophy with an 11-point buffer. The final term was one of the best on record. The Tigers blew the game apart, getting their lead out to 15. And just when the game appeared out of reach for the Wildcats, in the dying minutes they staged a remarkable comeback with a series of 3-point bombs. Then in the dying seconds, a last throw of the dice to level the score.
Vlahov, will he be the man? He takes the free! No, in and out!
So close yet so far for Perth. The Tigers champions 104-102, winning their first ever NBL title.
It's been a long road, and you sort of reflect back on these times of the hard times, and every ounce of sweat, every training session, it's all worth it because this is just a sensational feeling.
Andrew Gaze, possibly the man responsible for the Tigers winning the championship. Let's now hear from players from both teams about today's epic battle.
Leonard had a huge third quarter, and everybody just played so well, and we wanted it so badly. That third quarter was just the turning point.
We had to come out with everything to beat these guys at home, and that's all there was to it. We put our bodies on the line, and we were lucky enough to come through.
I always say Ricky Grace is the best point guard in Australia. I mean, I get a lot of flack for not stopping him, but it doesn't make me feel bad because I know how good he is.
There's a very fine margin between the team, between both teams, and the pendulum of luck today just swung very slightly in our favour.
We came out in the third quarter and we actually had them on the ropes, but we missed at one stage there 4 or 5 easy shots, and then the momentum swung back the other way. I felt if we had a situation where I think we could have blown out to about 10 in front just after half time, but we didn't take our chances.
People just don't understand, you put so much into this, and 9 months, and it's just tough. You lose, but I'm just trying to look at the positives.
It's going to be a nightmare for the next 3 months for me, I think. I shot it, felt good. Actually, when I saw it basically go in, I thought it was in, but wasn't meant to be.
So a courageous effort from the Perth Wildcats today, and Scott Fisher will again give his views of the grand final and the 1993 season in his regular segment in Sport tomorrow.
And what might have been.
Look at the Gaze family, Lindsay and Andrew. Andrew just tears streaming down the face.
The Gaze family has spent most of the last decade chasing an NBL title, and this afternoon the dream became reality.
Yeah, we've come this long road together, and like I said before, we had 4 or 5 years where we didn't win a game, or very few games anyway.
In the Wildcats camp, the Champers was replaced by tears.
It's very disappointing. I've had my little cry now, and people just don't understand. you put so much into this, and 9 months.
The Cats had done a remarkable job to fight back from 15 points down in the final minutes, and skipper Andrew Vlahov went within millimetres of sending the game into overtime.
It's going to be a nightmare for the next 3 months for me, I think. I shot it, felt good. Actually, when I saw it basically go in, I thought it was in, but it wasn't meant to be.
We're proud of what our boys have done. We're very disappointed for them. We felt that on the year, even now we've still lost less games than anybody else.
Neil Ho, 7 Nightly News.
They did a great job.